Good morning, listeners. The date is April 8th, 2024, and you were listening into, what is this, 13, 14? It's an episode of a New Era podcast. I should look at that count before we start from now on. My name is Hanson, better known as Fryddy Online, and I'm here today with my dad, the OG Frid. Dad, would you like to say hello to the listeners this morning?
Yeah, good morning, listeners. Good morning there, Hanson. What a weekend, right? Good weekend.
What a week.
Good week. Today's going to be what an amazing day. We have a solar eclipse today.
We do. You know what time that is?
No, I don't.
You're not supposed to look at those,
don't freaking look at it.
I think I just might.
Okay. They'll burn the
other eye.
The only
good eye I have.
The only good eye you have.
Anyways, we've got a banger of an episode for you guys today. We're going to start it out with our first ever interview. So we'll cut to that in a second with former PGA pro, Chip Lynn. Got on there and talked about the Masters look ahead with us, some of his playing experience and his background in golf. So we're going to cut to that interview now. We will catch back up with you guys after it and jump into our weekend recap and everything else. Welcome in to our first ever interview with our first ever guest here on a New Era podcast. Yeah,
an interview.
I'll let you just go ahead and offer it. Just take it here.
Okay, so we have PGA Pro Chip Lynn of the Carolina Lakes Golf Course with us today. I was just talking to Chip a little bit before and how we do our weekend recaps, which will come later in this pod, but how you, you've thrown your arms up last couple weeks with my golf recaps and what I've uncovered in watching a little of these tournaments. And I am no professional whatsoever. Chip, tell us why you're going to be our golf expert during our majors here.
Well, I'll just do the best I can do, honestly. I mean, I watch a lot of golf, grew up watching golf. I'm still a big fan of it, played a lot of golf. I mean, my background really comes from, a playing background, and now I'm the golf professional here at Carolina Lakes Golf Course. I retired from playing about 6 years ago. So now I get to teach people how to play golf. So I'll do my best.
So your playing career, tell me about that.
Yes. Excuse me. So right out of college, I turned professional and started playing the mini tours here in North Carolina. I played mini tours for probably 6 to 8 years, and then started playing PGA Tour Latin America back in 2017, which was a good year for me. My daughter was born that year, and I had a really good year out on the golf course. And then following that season, I gained full status to, which was the Web.com tour then. Now it's the Corn Ferry Tour.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, and I played the full season in 2018 and then decided it was time to retire. Had a really rough year, and my daughter was turning 1. It was just about the right time.
So. Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Any big wins on the Corn or the Web.com at that time?
Never won out there. I had a couple decent finishes, had a really good opportunity to have a really good finish about the 3rd or 4th event of the year, and just really had a terrible back nine on Sunday, and it kind of bit me. But it was a good learning experience. And Q School final stage was probably my best finish, where I think I shot about 20 under par for 4 rounds and finished top 15 there. So that was probably my best finish out there. Had a lot of good finishes on the PGA Tour Latin America. Just 2018 was a rough year for me. So daughter was turning 1. I was missing a lot of things at home. I was gone for like 30 weeks. So
yeah,
it's just it was a whole new animal to kind of.
And going then down to, as you said, Latin America, a whole new country, or.
Well, in 2017 was when I played Latin, and that was, surprisingly, every event I played that year, I made the cut, and I had 3 top threes that year, or maybe it was 2 top threes and another top 10 somewhere. But it was a good year for me. I played really well out of the country, and then we got back in the country in 2018, and just had a rough year. Yeah, and that's kind of what eventually led to me being the head golf professional here at Carolina Lakes Golf Course.
So yeah, let's give you an opportunity to plug what you do here and the course. Obviously, I live here. Have not become a full member yet, but we'll get there.
Mhm.
But I am a rewards card. Take advantage of it as much as I can. Talk about the course.
Yeah, so it's funny. I grew up learning how to play golf here at Carolina Lakes. So
Did you?
This is where I learned how to play the game, and the family that owned the golf course for years before, their son was the head golf professional. And he was my teacher, so he was my coach all the way through my career, and so it's pretty cool. The place I learned how to play golf, place that kind of grew me into a golfer, is now the place where I'm teaching people how to play golf. So I am the head golf professional here, so I don't only teach, I still manage the golf course and all the staff here. But I do have a separate kind of deal where I am the teaching instructor here, so I'm doing a lot of teaching outside.
Yeah, something I think that you and I need, huh, Hanson?
Yeah, definitely. Chip, you mentioned your experience on the tour there and playing. Obviously we hear it a lot from, anybody that has either played or just watches a lot of golf about just the next level that it is and the competition up there. Can you talk a little bit about like how it felt being on there and just the level of competition you're playing against, and if that, I don't know, propels you to play better?
Yeah, so at every level, even in professional, it's sort of like baseball. You have all the different A's as far as moving up through the ranks there. Mini tours is guys coming out of college, guys that don't have status on any tour somewhere. They're trying to get their feet under them, trying to get that experience as far as just playing tournaments and getting prepared for the bigger stage. And I kind of bounced around quite a bit. When I first turned professional, my first event as a professional, I finished second place in the tournament. So I kind of hit the ground running right away. But then I had about another 8-month lull where I was trying to figure out what I was doing there. So I had a lot of success right away, right out of college. And then, I had a big learning curve as far as the professional life goes of just traveling week to week, keeping my game in shape where I go from tournament to tournament and can compete anywhere I go. And then, about right in the middle of my second year playing, I kind of got my feet under me again and was very consistent, was making a lot of cuts, had a couple good wins in the mini tour level. And then as I worked my way up to a couple different stages there, like PGA Latin America, it was a great stepping stone for me because it was a way to get to the PGA Tour. And that's always the ultimate goal, is to get to the PGA Tour. And that was the best route to go because you can earn web status from that tour, and then from there, or Corn Ferry, excuse me, and then from Corn Ferry, you bounce around out there for a few years until you get tour status. Every level you go to, consistency is just key, right? So you had to be consistent all the time playing well.
Yeah.
At every stage that you went to, the consistency level and then the level of play just increased. So that was my experience. And as far as how it affected me, I always played pretty well in the biggest moments for the most part. It's just 2018. I can't stress it enough. It was just an off year, and it was not the time to have an off year. So that's kind of my story, and I'm sticking to it.
So, I mean, I love watching a lot of YouTube golf. Just all the funny, Bob Does Sports, Good Golf, those guys. I love watching the Bryan Bros as well. And just listening to them. I love Full Swing on Netflix. I love watching that. Would you say the hardest part is the travel, or is it the game itself?
Well, it's just a combination of things. It's funny you mentioned the Bryan brothers. Me and George Bryan, he turned pro a couple of years after me, and we played quite a bit together, mini tour golf. His younger brother he was a little bit younger than me, and I didn't play very much with him. As far as the difficulty, it's just a beast of its own. You're traveling week to week. You got to find time to practice. If you have a family, you got to find time to be, a part of that family. Yeah. And then, getting your mind right for on Thursday when it's time to tee up the golf ball. So, I mean, there's there's so many things. And then, say you have a good week, then you got to start right back over and do it again the next week. So it's just about balance. You got to find the right balance of everything. And, it's just like anything. When you're up, you're up. And when you're down, you're down. And the ups never seem like they're up long enough. And the downs always seem like they take forever to get out. So it's just, I found a level of consistency from about 2015 through 2017 that, I could play with anybody in the world. It's just getting to that top level.
Yeah.
The PGA Tour was the battle. I mean, that's the thing. It's just hard to get out there. I mean, and they're not making it any easier either. And now you got guys coming out of college that are 20 years old they're tour ready.
Yeah.
They don't have to go through that learning curve. So as far as the game of golf, I mean, these guys are prepared right when they come out of college. Some going into college, they're prepared. So
what do you think is the best college school out there to produce?
Georgia was always the college that you saw all these big names coming out of with golf when I was really up to date on this. So I'm a plead ignorance here as far as now. I know that all these big D1 schools, they're pumping out good golfers all the time. So most, highly ranked D1 schools, they've got good golfers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Georgia was always the one where if you went to Georgia, you're playing on tour and you're winning tournaments on tour. So,
Gotcha.
but yeah, that's kind of right now.
Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State had some good golfers. Oklahoma, Ricky Fowler came out of Oklahoma, and Texas always has some good golfers.
Texas got some good ones.
Yeah.
Did Scotty go there?
Scotty went to Texas. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like I said, there's so many D2 schools that are pumping out golfers. I mean, I went to D2 and I felt like I could compete with anybody when I was out there. And that's the thing. It doesn't really matter where you go to college. It really matters what you do once you get out there and you're playing for your livelihood.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. 2 more questions before we get into handicapping the Masters. That's why we brought you on, and hopefully you enjoy this and we can get you for the other majors that we have going on this year. What's your favorite hole on this course?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I'll tell you, my least favorite
nice question.
Yeah, my least favorite is number 6, right?
Well, I thought you like 6. You like 6 when you hit it well.
Well, I like 6 now that we moved all the tees all the way up because we're working probably on the box. So, the other day I used my 9-iron and hit within probably 9 feet and two putted that. I got a good par, so because that's a scary hole. But
yeah, that's an interesting question. So you're talking about the place that probably I love the most.
Yeah.
As far as golf course of any place that I've played, and go figure it's my home course. But there's so many good memories for me on pretty much every hole out here. I'd have to say number 8. It's kind of our signature hole because the green is tilted pretty good from back right to front left, and that's the hole that everybody remembers this golf course by, is because the greens get so fast and you can't hardly hold the green with a putt sometimes.
Oh yeah.
That's where I had my first hole-in-one. I think I've had 3 hole-in-ones on number 8, and I mean, with it being the signature hole and as hard as it is for a 150-yard par 3, that's probably my favorite hole out here.
We hit pretty well on 8.
We dropped them in there. Yeah.
Yep.
And then it goes uphill, and then we go over to 9, and I just fucking hate that hole. And that one kicks my ass every time. So,
the holes that it seems for me like the holes that everybody struggles the most with out here, those probably tend to be my favorite for some reason. Like number 5 is one of the toughest driving holes for a par 5. It's not an overly long hole, but the tee ball is so hard. But I've had a double eagle there, so it kind of stands out to me a little bit, So it's got a place in my heart for sure.
Yeah.
Five's nice. 5's pretty too. I love seeing 5 going through.
And then seeing Buffalo Lake on the other side. You love 7.
I love 7. I love 7, but just because when we first started playing there, it fit so well with how I just hit the ball left anyways. And it just curled around the trees there. And I was like, that was awesome. Now I'm hitting it and actually going like straight. And I'm like, that's not where I want you to go, ball. Like,
that's typically how it works out. If the hole shapes with your ball flight, it just looks good to you and you like it.
Yeah,
right? And
exactly.
that's golf in a nutshell. If you feel good about it, good things are probably going to happen.
I'm loving lately number 10.
Yeah, number 10's fun. Yeah, I mean, it's just you can play it, and that's the beauty of this golf course, man. I play this golf course much differently than most people, but again, I could play this place in the dark with my eyes closed. You
Yeah.
know, so, but there's so many ways to play this golf course and be successful and be unsuccessful. You know, and that's for a 6,400-yard golf course tipped out. It's all you want, you know, and it punishes you when you let up a little bit, and then it rewards you when you're on.
Yeah.
And that's number 10 in a nutshell. You can go after it and try to get it up there close to the green, or you can lay back and hit in the fairway and get screwed. You get screwed either way.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
So, yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, we did play in the dark when we finished up the other night.
Yeah,
Pitch dark.
I wasn't pitched. It was pretty
But you
dark.
guys were
It
out
wasn't
there
dark
too late.
enough that I missed it.
Yeah, we were out there too late.
Yeah.
We probably shouldn't be telling him all that. We just had to finish up.
What happens on the podcast stays on the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. My other question, so obviously we have the PGA Championship next as a major, but having the US Open in our backyard, in your course backyard, what does that do for your course and just everything around here?
Well, yeah, I'm curious to see how it's going to affect us this summer, because I know we're going to get some overflow play from places that are swamped. We're a good 45 minutes away from Pinehurst number 2, but it seems like when things like this come to our area, we definitely see an impact from it. I'm hoping to see a big impact where golfers are overflowing here and see that we got a gym here. Especially that time of year, we're going to be pure. I mean, the golf course is going to be in great shape. The fairway's going to be grown in. So I'm really excited to see kind of what happens. But what I would think is we're going to see some new faces. I mean, that's the big thing, is places where people are coming to watch the tournament. They don't have a ticket for that day. They need to play golf. Everywhere around Pinehurst is packed. So they're going to go 40 minutes outside and come play us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. So it's going to be good for the golf course, good for the community. So
we got to get our tee time in now.
That's right.
Yeah, seriously.
All right. So let's talk about the Masters. That's what we're here for. Biggest, I was thinking when I was driving over here, yes, we've already been playing, had the California tour. We're in Hawaii, California. We came to Florida a little bit. We're in Texas right now. But I kind of compare this event kind of like to the Daytona 500. In the fact that the Daytona opens up your season. Yes, we've already been playing for 6 weeks, 8 weeks, whatever it is now. But it almost seems like this begins your year, if you will.
Yeah, I'd say a lot of people start watching golf this, if not now, maybe a few weeks ago at the Players Championship, but everybody watches the Masters. The Masters, it's such a big thing. And what's so funny is it's probably the smallest full field event of the year. There's usually 88 to 92 players in the field. I think there's probably 90 in the field this year. So it's crazy. It's just, it's like they say, it's a tradition like no other, so, and I remember.
And you can't watch it anyplace except theirs, right?
Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, until Saturday afternoon, you can't even, well, I think ESPN's doing a little bit more coverage.
Are they? Okay.
It might be them. It might be, I think I saw like a TV schedule about this. I think it might be all like the other stuff is CBS Sports, I think, from Thursday. Honestly, from like Tuesday, I think you can start seeing them tee off and stuff like practice range and stuff on Tuesday on CBS.
Well, DirecTV used to be awesome, where you could get the Masters coverage on DirecTV. I don't know if they still do it anymore, but every day they'd have 3 or 4 channels just dedicated to
and you put it in that box and you could just watch
feature groups. But now the Masters app, you could watch featured groups and then they show the live coverage. I remember being a kid and waiting for the Masters to come on, and you couldn't watch it until Saturday at 4:00.
Yeah.
You know, it's just it's like waiting for a Christmas present that you can't open till after.
So, yeah. So again, due to the fact that we love our betting, and our betting is live here in North Carolina, Hanson put together via FanDuel Sportsbook,
FanDuel
the
odds.
odds. So we're gonna pick our favorite, our dark horse, and our biggest surprise.
And let me explain this too, because I know it was a little misworded in our email earlier.
I misword everything.
Yeah, a little bit. So we've got our group of favorites here. I picked, I think, top 7, top 8 in terms of odds, and then made a cutoff. I've got a group of, what's this, like 15, 12 to 15 for a group of like dark horse or anybody lower, obviously. And then the biggest surprise, I just have anybody with odds of plus 350 or lower to finish top 10. So I didn't take any of like the top 10 guys. You know, we're not thinking, oh, it's going to be a huge surprise if Scotty places top 10. We've got some guys outside of there, but we'll start with the favorites. With Scheffler, Rory, John Rahm, Scheffler, Koepka, Matsuyama, and Spieth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think if you're asking me who my favorite would be of that pick, it's hard to go against John Rahm. John Rahm, I know he's kind of gone over to Live Golf now, and he's not a fan favorite as far as his popularity right now. But man, it is hard to go against him. He won last year. There's a good chance of him repeating again this year. Scheffler is so good, right? Like he's having the last couple of years like Tiger did in the early 2000s.
Yeah.
And the tour's only gotten better since Tiger made it better. So Scheffler's doing things that Tiger was doing against a better tour. So it's so hard to say that he's not going to win.
I would agree, but I'm almost worried. Like the last couple of weeks, some of these like easy putts you would think that he would hit and should hit, something's happened between when I've been watching coverage 14 to 16, 17. It's just he's not.
Yeah, and I think that TV and being a fan watching it does, and this is where I think that maybe I could give my expertise a little bit, right? So, Scotty Scheffler is the number 1 player in the world. Scotty Scheffler hits 16 greens around, 15 greens around. Scotty Scheffler's proximity to the hole is closer than anybody else's. So Scotty Scheffler's having a lot of putts that are shorter or quote unquote easy, as you said.
Yeah.
Right. So him missing a putt stands out a lot more than Justin Thomas missing a putt right now. So it's an easy fight to win, saying, "Oh, Scotty Scheffler's missing short putts," but do you realize how many putts that he's having in that range? And he's still shooting these rounds. He's still in the top 3 every single week.
Yeah.
So it's a number or it's an idea that I think is misconstrued a little bit. He's still a great putter. He has missed some short putts, but he also has a lot more opportunities than most people right now.
Yeah.
He's hot as fire right now, So I agree, though, in one extent, because the Masters, the greens are lightning fast. There's a ton of undulation on the greens, and they're hard to make putts. And that will show its face. It did a few years back when he won. I mean, he almost lost that thing because of missing some putts, and a couple missed shots here or there, especially on Sunday. But he's going to be there.
Yeah.
It would surprise me if, he's an easy pick for a top 10, but it would surprise me if he finished outside the top 10. It really would. I don't know that he's going to win. I don't know how you can root against him or bet against him.
Right. Yeah.
Other than I don't know that it'd pay out that great if you bet for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. At plus 400. So you want to know a crazy stat? I heard this week. So it was like Wednesday. Scotty was plus 500. So obviously there's more money going on him, and it's put it down to plus 400 since. In Tiger's run, when he was going on that crazy run back in, like you were saying, like 03 to whenever that was, Guess how many times he had odds of 500 or better for a major?
I'm not gonna guess because I don't know.
10,
12.
12.
12 times 500 odds or better. He was actually favored in one of the Masters. I think it was 05s at minus 125. You realize how ridiculous that is?
It is.
Of a group of 90 to be favored. It's crazy, but
And minus money.
Yeah,
yeah.
Tiger Woods from 99 through 2003, 2004, 2008. I mean, the dude, there was nobody to compare him to. I mean, the tour
Mhm.
got better because of him, and he was just miles ahead of everybody. I mean, he was just that much better. Scotty Scheffler, I would think that if he continues on the rate he's at, these odds that you're talking about, I would be hard pressed to think that he could even reach that because the tour is so much better now.
Mhm.
Now, granted, some of your guys that were playing in the late 90s, early 2000s may not agree with me, but you look at the tour now, the scores are shooting, how there's not one guy just dominating all the time.
How many rookies came out and won already this year?
I mean, the tour is so good.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is, there's so many good players. It's starting, and Tiger did that. Tiger was the man that all these kids grew up watching that they wanted to be, and now there's 25 of them. There's 40 guys every week that have a legitimate chance to dominate. And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Peter Malnati won a couple weeks ago at Valspar. Me and him played a lot of mini tour golf together, and this guy is phenomenal. His only thing is he only hits it about 270 off the tee, and he's playing a big boys golf course every time he plays. But even somebody like him who's 36, 37 years old, he's phenomenal, but that's what you're seeing now is how good the tour is because of what we grew up watching, so I think that's awesome. Now, I don't know about the numbers. You guys are better at the numbers than I am, but I'll take your word for it.
Who are you taking?
Man, I like Rom too, but I think if anybody could go back to back, like it could be him here. Like you said, it's always hard to bet against Scotty too, but I think I might get a little cute and go Xander.
Really?
Schauffele.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure, he's another one of those guys. I mean, you got to look at it this way: who plays good all the time? And it's Scheffler, it's Rahm, it's Schauffele. It was Justin Thomas, but he's had 18 months of trying to figure out where he's at. But Schauffele's a great pick. Schauffele would be a great pick. He is so solid. And somebody like Cam Smith, who's now playing Live as well, that guy plays good all the time. It'd be hard to think that he wouldn't play well, and I don't think that he's in your favorites. He may be considered one of your dark horses, but he's only a dark horse because he's been playing Live golf, I feel like.
Yeah. He actually is in that dark horse group. Dad, who do you have before we go on to there and get into that group?
I love Brooks. I love what he does in the majors, and at plus 1,600, I would take him.
Yeah.
Now, where does it pay out the best? Only if they win.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Plus 1,600. Daddy could come and buy this golf course.
Yeah, you'd have to put everything down on it.
yeah, that's the problem. I'm not going to do. We know my betting are small bets. So
yeah.
The only reason, if I'm picking on you guys a little bit, can I pick on you?
You could pick. I told you could. It's our podcast.
Brooks Koepka played great last year. I think he finished second to Rahm last year. Brooks Koepka he's a great golfer. I don't think he's played as well the last few months. And the only reason I would probably never pick him, other than he played really well last year, is he plays a fade off the tee as a right-hander. And Augusta National's a draw golf course.
Yeah, and he got in a lot of trouble.
But he hits it so far with 3-wood that he draws his 3-wood. I mean, he can get around that golf course with 3-wood just because he's so strong and hits it so far.
Yeah.
So, but that would be my nitpick with Koepka. and you never know what you're going to get with that guy.
Absolutely, yeah. You never know exactly.
But if
And
it's a major
this-
championship, he's probably going to play well.
And this is why Chip is our golf expert. Coming out here with the Augusta, he's hitting it with the fades off the right. Oh my goodness, look at this guy.
Yeah, but look, you know, Dustin Johnson won what 3 or 4 years ago. John Rahm plays a fade. He won last year. The only thing, John Rahm plays good everywhere. Dustin Johnson plays good everywhere. You know, Rory McIlroy, we haven't talked about him at all. I mean, he hits draws. You know, that's kind of his shot. Rory is hitting a draw, and the dude bombs it. So I mean, if he gets out of his own way, he would be a name to talk about.
Oh.
I'm probably making this segment of the podcast terrible because I keep throwing everybody in every direction.
Yeah.
I mean,
Every favorite he's just about picks.
Chip saying throw money on
No.
everybody in the field.
my pick is Rom, but I could justify everybody's.
All right, let's jump into the dark horses.
Yeah, I've kind of thrown mine out there. I think Cam Smith is probably of your odds here. I think Cam Smith, man, he's such a good putter.
Yeah.
And he hits a draw. The thing with him is he gonna hold up for 72 holes off the tee?
Mhm.
The dude is, I mean, dark horse is a stretch, I think, for this guy because I think should be considered a favorite. He's good. He would, out of that pick of the guys that you got here, out of that pack of the guys you got here, I would say that Cameron Smith would probably be my dark horse pick and probably more towards one of my favorites.
I'm going to jump in here. I love this Aberg kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like his length.
He bombs it.
Yeah. And that I think can be of a great advantage on certain holes in Augusta. So I like him.
This is strictly just because I love him, but I've got Hovland. When I put this together, I saw it and I was like, I might even bet him at plus 3,000. I love Victor Hovland, and every time he's up there, I'm like trying to watch his feature group or anything like that. That's strictly just a biased play, and I love him, but I hope that he can play well this upcoming weekend.
He's definitely fun to watch. Yeah, I mean he's always smiling.
Yeah.
Awesome. You know, it's awesome to see those guys because, like we talked about before this, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of stress on those guys, and this guy loves it. I mean, he's just out there, he's smiling, he's having a good time no matter what's happening. You know?
Did he play Latin America?
No, he went. I'm pretty certain he went straight to the tour.
Okay.
Yeah, he got some exemptions out of college and then made the most of them, I believe.
All right. Biggest surprise. Hanson, you want to take it?
Yeah. So like I said, for these ones, this is just biggest surprise, I guess, for some of the farther out guys with their odds to finish top 10. I mean, this is a tough group. I'm gonna, I think, ride the hot hand in Brian Harmon. I had him actually 2 weeks ago. Yeah,
Okay.
and it was, I can't remember which one it was. Was it? Fuck. I don't know if it was the Players Championship. I think it was the week after. But he was playing incredible on that course historically, and I hope that it carries over. I'm not seeing how he's doing so far this weekend. I can check that up at the moment.
Even right now.
Yeah. But I like him, and I think he was even. He's 3 over now through 5. So he might have just got a cold hand as soon as I was saying this. But I'm still gonna ride with him there, and then just for the fun of it too. Of course we might get a little cute and throw a little sprinkle on Tiger to place top 10, because if he can hold up, and we always love the story and we'd love to see it. And actually, funny thing, he's been abstinent trying to get ready for this tournament. He is completely sworn off sex, so he is so locked in to golf. We'll hope that his back can hold up too. But yeah, there's my biggest surprise, I guess.
I said Tiger. You know, Tiger Woods was probably my favorite golfer growing up, but I've become this cynical guy that watches golf right now, and it almost bothers me that Tiger's still playing. Like, he has nothing left to prove, and it doesn't prove anything by playing these events, making the cuts, and then withdrawing, or playing well one round and withdrawing. So I I think it would be a surprise if Tiger made it to Sunday. I'm not saying it would be a surprise for him to make the cut. It'd be a surprise for him to make it to Sunday. Just based on the past 3 years. You know, and granted, he's still Tiger Woods. You never know what shape he's in until Thursday probably, but
that's a tough course to walk.
It's a very hard golf course to walk, and then he just I don't know the last time he's finished a 72 hole event. That would be an interesting thing to kind of figure out, is when was the last time he finished a 72 hole event, because it hasn't been in the major championships the last couple of years.
I mean, it might have been Riviera.
No, he withdrew after the first
That's right, because he had a little tummy bug.
Something.
Yeah.
So I just don't know that Tiger has definitely got the game and the brain, but he doesn't have the body anymore. I just don't think he has the body to play 72 holes. And I hope he proves me wrong, because I'm a fan. I'm like, he's number one. But I think it would, if we're saying surprises, I think if there's a bet that says I'm surprised he finishes 72 holes, and there's then
there probably some player props in that.
Probably.
I'll take the under.
The Hero World Challenge, December 3rd, 2023, 20-man exhibition. That was the last time he did 72.
Yep. So
that's his course.
Yeah, in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
And there's no hills in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there was only 2 other times within the last 3 years.
Yeah. So him finishing 72 holes at Augusta, I say are slim. But I'm rooting for the best, right? Yeah. And it sounds terrible, but that's just, again, I'm a fan of golf. I'm a fan of golf, and I'm also a big fan of Tiger Woods, and I wish the best for him, but I just don't see it. I don't see it. I can't wait to see him on the Champions Tour when he can ride in a cart. And hopefully he doesn't listen to your podcast, because he's probably going to find where I'm at.
He's going to use this as fuel. Tiger's going to shoot.
He was up the street.
Yeah, he went to the AJGA event at Trace.
Yeah, he was up the street a few weeks ago. So, yeah.
That's funny.
For me, and let me just confirm that he's not on your list here. Sergio Garcia.
Really?
Sergio Garcia. Yeah, I mean,
always plays well here.
Still got game. He still hits it far enough. He's probably the best driver of the golf ball that we've probably ever seen. He led the tour in total driving for so many years. That's length and accuracy. And he hits it so good that he doesn't have to putt great. When he won the Masters that year, I think it was in 2017, he didn't putt great. He just hit it that good.
Yeah.
And that's somebody like him. If he hits it that good, I mean, he could shoot low scores by not putting great. And I think that he would probably be a surprise. If I would say that if you got a couple extra bucks, put it on him. I think he might surprise everybody. But then he might shoot 80. I don't know.
Yeah.
Plus 20,000 odds to win. Plus 1,000 to make top 10. I might put a little sprinkle on it live here, Chip.
I'm going Max Homa. I just like his personality. I love, and yesterday I watched a little bit. I don't think he might have been a feature on ESPN Plus, but I love how him and his caddy just have that communication going. Saw that, I think it was probably 15, where yes, he did hit the green when he was so damn close. But yet I like the two of them. I mean, top 10. I like Max in the top 10.
I like it.
Right.
Well, that'll wrap up all that we had for the Masters stuff. Chip, if there's anything else that you want to say here at the end, whether it be a Masters look ahead or just anything else, the floor is yours.
No, I'm excited. This is probably my favorite time of year. The big tournaments coming on. The Masters has always been my favorite. I can remember back when I was a kid, not even watching like Masters highlights from the 80s, the 70s. I love everything about the Masters. I'm excited for it. It's always going to be a entertaining experience. It doesn't really matter until Sunday afternoon when they all get on the back nine, because that's when everything happens, is back nine on Sunday, so and anything can happen there. There's so many scoring opportunities on the back nine. So, we talk next week and we might be laughing at what we said this week. You just never know. Who knows? Freddie Couples might do his thing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He did it for so many years. That might be one that we should have said, well, why didn't we talk about Freddie? He just always plays well there. But no, I'm excited for it. Back to the US Open. I'm excited for that. I was talking to you a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I told you I had full intentions on trying to qualify. I hadn't played a golf tournament in 6 years, but I was planning on I've been playing some here lately, and my game's in decent shape. I was going to try to see if I could qualify for it, but I waited about a week or two too long, and all the local sites filled up. And so next time. What's funny is in 2014 I had knee surgery in December of 13, and I was unable to try to qualify for it. Last time I was in Pinehurst, and then now I'm missing it again this year because of maybe just an overlooking of the date, and I'm kind of upset about that. But I'll be all right here.
Get them next time.
Yeah, I was just thinking about this too. Interesting how that tournament, anyone, can go through qualifying to try and get in. You would think our next major, which I hope you enjoyed this, I hope you can come back and talk about the PGA Championship. Being as a PGA pro, wouldn't you think that you were able to get opportunity to play into that as well?
I would. So here's the thing for me is, I work so much here, and I'm not whining, but I'm full time in the shop. I'm full time outside the shop giving lessons, and that's kind of where I'm at right now in my life. I hope in the near future that I will start playing some of the section events, the PGA section events, and I feel like I could do okay in those. If I play a little bit, I could probably get some form back and stand a chance at some of those events. And playing in those events could qualify me for having a chance to get into the PGA Championship, and that's always a goal.
Good.
I just gotta find the time to do it and get some kind of form before I try, because I don't want to embarrass myself out there.
like us, we totally embarrass ourselves out there. Good thing you don't watch us play that often. All right, so lastly, how, if you are coming to the area for the US Open and you need a place to play, plug in this place. How can they?
Yeah, so Carolina Lakes Golf Course, we're located off of Buffalo Lake Road, which is right off of Highway 87. And we got a Sanford address, but it's more Spout Springs area. We're a 40-minute drive from Pinehurst. Very good location. We're not too far from Fort Liberty down the road. We offer a great product all year long, and our prices are very, very competitive with the area. If not, we're a little bit lower than most places, and we take a lot of pride in our golf course. So,
new greens,
brand new greens. We replaced the greens last summer, and they are phenomenal. We're waiting for the weather to warm up just a little bit, so our fairways will start to pop, as most places have would probably agree with. We need some warmer weather so the fairways will pop. But man, our golf course is in great shape right now. And come that time with the US Open, we're going to be in great shape. So yeah, we're right down the road. Give us a call. You can check us out on our website, carolina-lakes.com. And everything you need to know is right there. You will have to call and book your tee time. We do a week in advance. So yeah, give us a call. We'd love to have you.
Or if you're in the local area, and we do have a lot of local people that listen to us. It's amazing. If you want to get a teaching lesson from me, you do plenty of that too, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So give me a call here at the golf shop, and we can set up a time together. Yeah, I always have some time to bring in some new customers. And also, we got a new assistant professional here, Evan Austin. He's going to be starting to give some lessons here too. So if you can't get me, Evan's a good guy, and he gives good lessons as well. So yeah, we want to grow the game of golf. We want golfers to get better. Check out our Operation 36 program, which is growing like crazy here. I'm so excited about it. Man, check us out. We got a lot of stuff going on here. There's something to get into all the time here, especially as far as learning the game of golf. There's always an opportunity.
Sounds good.
Sounds
Anything
awesome.
else? Yeah.
No, that's all for me, man. Chip, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time here and jumping on to talk, your experience and the Masters here, and we really look forward to hopefully getting on and talking with you again later on this year.
Absolutely. Thank you, Hanson.
Yeah, thank you, man. All right. I mean, Dad, what a great interview, right? That was so fun.
So I think the best part about that interview, again, eventually we'll get these up on YouTube and we'll video it. I think that's what in our next season we talked about doing that. But yeah, I mean, having an actual golf expert now for us, especially through these majors, so we don't see Hanson just fall back in his chair and just like go, what the frig is going on? Why is Dad watching?
Well, I know golf, but when you come out here like, yeah, the fucking Bermuda Triple Open, I'm like, who the fuck is watching this? Like, you got March Madness on. He's like, yeah, I'm watching the quadruple A freaking backwards shooting session of the golf tour. Like, you just pull these out of your ass.
I know, but you know what's the wild thing is I didn't watch any golf this weekend.
Nice.
Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I think I watched it on Thursday or something like that, or Friday. Yeah.
Well, there was a guy. I don't even know how to say his name, so I'm not gonna try to butcher it.
Ashby or
something. Yeah, but freaking played incredible yesterday, I think it was, to secure his spot. The Masters actually tweeted out right after the Valero Open ended. They were just like, great performance. We'll see you back there next Thursday, or we'll see you on Thursday, to whatever his name is. I was like, that's cool, because he was the last one to get in there and everything. So yeah, that was awesome.
I've seen him, I think on some YouTube play. Great little personality he's got. So and can strike the ball. So he did. Yeah, he showed up, got his spot in. So we're looking forward to our first golf major. And yeah, again, thank you, Chip, for a wonderful interview. And he's agreed to come on and be a part of the upcoming 4 other majors. So get to listen to his insight. For the next one, we won't go much into the playing, but his understanding of course knowledge and how these guys can,
how they shape their shots and play them, and what plays well and what doesn't. Yeah, it was really impressive. But it just shows you, I mean, the eye that like professional golfers look at the sport compared to just like us,
Yeah, exactly.
But enough of that. Like I said, we'll get right into our weekend recap here. Majority of this episode was the interview, so we'll keep this stuff kind of short, maybe